ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives.
These 48 hours scarred Bieber for life, and he was not the only one. Diddy ruined the life of this kid and turned him into something he never was. He left people with broken bodies and minds.
I think if I was a 40-year-old man, I wouldn't be offering anything to a 15-year-old teenager.
Girl with a broken pinky, yeah, my pinky's broken. It was broken at 12 years old when I tried to fight back, and that didn't work. So there's a lot of parts of my body that pops and locks because a lot of people started tying me up, and I'm really small.
3 months in jail and Diddy's empire is in shambles. What once seemed like an untouchable legacy is now crumbling under the weight of shocking allegations. From trafficking to racketeering to physical abuse, the accusations are as chilling and shocking. Multiple men and women have accused Diddy of heinous acts, including rape and forced prostitution. And as more victims come forward, it's clear that this story is far from over. Today, we're diving into the stories of Diddy's alleged victims, people whose lives were impacted, ruined, or forever changed by their association with him. Make sure you stick around until the end, because the last victim's story will leave you absolutely stunned. Remember Come Get It, the early 2000s bop that put Aaron Carter on the map? He was the teen idol, adorable, talented, and beloved by millions. But behind the chart-topping hits and fan adoration, Aaron's life was anything but glamorous. Aaron grew up in the unforgiving spotlight of fame, where manipulation and exploitation were part of the industry's dark underbelly. Though Aaron never directly named Diddy, whispers have persisted for years about the mogul's involvement in exposing young stars like Aaron to inappropriate environments. According to insiders, Diddy's notorious party culture often involved drugs, alcohol, and predatory behavior, with children and teens caught in the crossfire. And it could have been these parties that turned Aaron's life around?
And yes, of course, I faced a lot of struggles, and I had lots of times where drugs and things like that were presented to me, and I dabbled in those kind of things, and I partook in it, and it got me into a lot of trouble. And, had to start figuring things out.
Aaron's struggles with addiction, mental health, and financial instability became painfully public over the years.
During the course of all that, I was still dealing with addiction problems and going through that as well. And it was very difficult, and I had a lot of proving to do.
In one chilling interview, Aaron hinted at betrayal and manipulation by powerful figures in the industry, suggesting that his innocence was stolen at a young age.
I think if I was a 40-year-old man, I wouldn't be offering anything to a 15-year-old teenager, even if he or she was asking for anything like that,
On November 5th, 2022, Aaron tragically lost his life after drowning in his bathtub following a drug overdose. But Aaron's mom believes that it was all planned by someone.
Following developing news tonight in Lancaster, where pop star Aaron Carter has died at the age of 34.
Now, Allie Carter isn't just another victim, she's a fighter. For years, she's been blowing the whistle on Diddy's alleged atrocities. But for a long time, no one listened.
We tried to have a case with Child Protective Services. We gave them 8 months worth of evidence. 8 months worth of evidence. That didn't even do a crumb. They took that case and they hid it.
Who is Allie? She's a survivor of what she claims was Diddy's child trafficking ring. According to Allie, these weren't just your typical celebrity parties. She describes them as gatherings involving satanic rituals, child abuse, and even auctions where children were sold as slaves. And yes, she says she was one of them. One of Allie's most shocking revelations came when she recounted breaking her pinky finger at the age of 12, tied up and struggling to escape during one of these events.
Girl with a broken pinky, yeah, my pinky's broken. It was broken at 12 years old when I tried to fight back, and that didn't work. So there's a lot of parts of my body that pops and locks and because a lot of people started tying me up, and I'm really small.
She also alleges that Diddy and other powerful figures orchestrated auctions, sending kids to the highest bidder.
But I know you guys have seen this picture. There's a picture of a baby. They got a picture of a bunch of kids tied to a wall. That's actually an auction. They're tied to a wall, and they're hanging on the wall. That's another form of an auction. Some auctions are very pretty. Some you get to stand. Some you got to be naked. I've had some really weird auctions. Some you're tied to a wall like produce or like retail. And basically like you're picking a t-shirt or you're picking clothes. Buyers come through wherever you're at, wherever they put you, and they literally like, okay, there's a white kid, there's a black kid, there's a black kid, there's an Indian kid, there's a girl, there's a guy.
Since going public in 2020, Ali has faced relentless backlash, losing her home, animals, and everything.
In 2020, I went viral, and we lost our home, we lost our animals, we lost everything.
But she hasn't stopped fighting. Now a regular guest on podcasts and interviews, Ali is determined to bring Diddy's alleged crimes to light. Her bravery has inspired other survivors to come forward, but the battle is far from over. Justin Bieber, the baby-faced pop sensation, dominated the late 2000s. But behind the polished image was a young star navigating fame and a troubling relationship with Diddy. By the time Bieber rose to fame, Diddy was already a music mogul with a reputation for throwing wild parties. In 2009, a then 15-year-old Bieber tweeted about collaborating with Diddy. The mogul quickly responded, inviting Justin to his home and promising extravagant gifts like a Lamborghini and a mansion.
As soon as you turn 16, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna let you rock this every time you come to LA. Yeah, this gonna be yours. So every time you come to LA, it's a little dusty, but you know, go get the front shot of this.
Man.
Minute.
Woo. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna be driving this next year.
Yeah, when you get 16, you come down there, you gotta, you know, wear your seat.
I mean, I'm 15. You could ride in the passenger seat. I got my permit. Not yet.
No.
All right,
No,
16.
No,
16.
Let's slow down. Let's slow down, Justin.
Okay.
Let's slow down. Okay.
One step at a time.
But yeah, the keys is yours when when you get 16. You good to go.
I'm good to go.
Yeah.
All right.
Then when you get 18, you get the house. You get the mansion.
Okay.
But what started as a mentorship raised eyebrows over time. A resurfaced video from 2009 shows Diddy talked about having custody of Bieber for 48 hours.
You ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like you know, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose.
While the context seemed harmless back then, the video now feels unsettling in light of the allegations surrounding Diddy. By the time Bieber turned 21, he was fully immersed in Diddy's world, attending his infamous parties and indulging in alcohol and drugs. This lifestyle led to Bieber's arrest in 2014, marking the beginning of a downward spiral.
Justin Bieber. Mr. Bieber, you are charged with the following: resisting without violence and driving with an expired driver's license.
By 2020, Bieber decided to distance himself from Diddy, focusing on family life and rehabilitation. However, the trauma of his early years in the industry and rumors of grooming by Diddy still haunt him to this day. Justin Litovsky might not be a household name, but his story is just as unsettling.
He put his arm around me in an uncomfortable way, close to areas that you shouldn't as a grown man.
At just 6 years old, Justin attended Diddy's infamous White Party in 1999. According to Justin, the party was anything but appropriate for a child. He recalls an environment filled with nudity, alcohol, and chaos, a world no child should be exposed to.
So I remember marijuana and topless women. That's the two main things that I remember.
Today, Justin is a baseball coach, but his early exposure to celebrity culture remains a troubling chapter in his life. His story is yet another piece of the puzzle, painting a disturbing picture of Diddy's party culture. The partnership between Diddy and the Notorious B.I.G defined a generation of hip-hop. But while their collaboration was legendary, it came with a dark side. Caught in the East Coast versus West Coast feud, Biggie became a target in one of the most dangerous rivalries in music history. Critics have long speculated that Diddy may have exploited the feud to boost Bad Boy Records' fame, possibly putting Biggie at greater risk. On March 9, 1997, Biggie was gunned down in Los Angeles.
Angeles police are investigating the shooting death of rapper Notorious B.I.G, also known as Biggie Smalls. He was gunned down early today. The rap star, whose real name is Christopher Wallace, had just left a Soul Train Awards party and was sitting in his car when a vehicle drove by.
The mystery of his death remains unsolved, but many question whether Diddy was behind Biggie's death. Eminem, in his song Fuel, hinted that P. Diddy might have a hand in his death. From Aaron Carter to Cassie, the stories of Diddy's alleged victims paint a shocking picture of a man who once seemed untouchable. Nobody knows how many lives he has destroyed. With new allegations and mounting evidence, it seems Diddy's time in the spotlight may finally be over. As the walls close in, one thing is clear: the victims' voices are louder than ever. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next video. We're not done spilling the tea yet.